Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.
Good evening, everyone. It is the season number 10 finale of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge presented by the SCCA Foundation and Buttkicker here on Apex Racing TV. I think, still Greg Ginsburg, and for tonight's 75-minute GTP and GT3 race, Larry Lefty McLeod will join me as always in the commentary box. And, you know, where would we all be without Jonathan Grabowski keeping us level-headed here in the commentary box and working behind the scenes to give us all the best views of tonight's action. Originally envisioned in 1963 as a NASCAR track of all things, tonight's venue has morphed much since then, debuting as a road course in 1965, seeing the one completed high bank turn removed and its layout going from counterclockwise to clockwise before Japan's first ever Formula One race was held there in 1974, and then becoming one of the world's best known race courses when Namco brought out my favorite video game for many years, and really I think one of the keys that got me into motorsports as a child, brought out pole position to the local arcade, and of course Atari brought it to your living room in 1982. Larry's going to tell me he probably wasn't alive back then. But tonight we're going to be racing the Herman Tilke design layout that was introduced in 2005 that lays right in the shadow of Mount Fuji. The last time World Challenge raced in the shadow of Mount Fuji Fuji was 2 years ago, and that was when we ran the 16-turn version of this track. But tonight, Larry, we eliminate the first gear chicane, which caused so many issues, and it really should open things up for our racers with our GT3 Pro class, Larry. Top 4 drivers in that class currently separated by only 10 points coming into the final round. And I'm sure that tonight here at Fuji is going to be some exciting racing.
It should be very exciting tonight. We've got a season finale here. We're going to crown
Yes.
some champions. I'm getting a little misty. This could be a really good one. with,
Johnny Mathis-like.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a little Johnny Mathis coming along. But you're right. The GT3 Pro finale here ought to just be spectacular with that points battle coming down to it. We've got contention in a couple in the other classes as well in the M. So I think this could be pretty exciting. And, as we wind down another season at one of the world great track, this is a perfect facility for doing this sort of mixed racing. I think this should be a great night for 75 minutes of fun.
Yeah, indeed. Wide, some very long straightaways, some very, very difficult corner combinations here. I think specifically what tonight we'll call turns 12 and 13 leading into the final corner. Normally would be 14 and 15, but tonight, again, a 14-turn version of this track, and typically that hairpin is something that we run here, and so it's really going to change things up so much, in fact, Larry, that I don't think Kevin Ford, who normally gives us our track guide, was quite ready for the change in race course. Let's turn things over to Kevin. He's going to give us our track guide, as he always does here in the World Challenge tonight of Fuji Speedway.
Welcome, everyone, to the incredible Fuji Speedway located here at the foothills of Mount Fuji in Japan. An incredible course here, opened in 1965. 16 turns, 2.8 miles is what it takes to get a lap done around here. Well, let's head up the front straightaway. As you'll notice, our main large grandstands to the left here, our pit entry to the right. Very long front straightaway here, and this is the best opportunity for slipstream here at Fuji. This is the big straightaway at this course. Heading down into the turn 1 area here, we'll be coming in at a very high rate of speed, heavy on the brakes, down through the gears here. Real tight rotation there in through turn 1. This will bring us out through turn 2, very wide section, up through this little short chute and uphill into this blind entry of turn 3. This is a fast entry here. We'll track out wide, come right back to throttle, down through turn 4. Be careful here, as this will bring us into turn 5. Want to let the car rotate, come right back to the right to set up our entry into the blind entry of turn 6 here. Wrapping that car down into the bottom of that corner. We'll track out up into 7. This will bring us into a very fast double right-hand downhill section of 8 and 9. Boy, this leads to a very heavy brake zone here. Turn 10. This one is a doozy. You really got to get that car slowed down to get back to the right, then back to the left through 11, up through 12. And we'll come right back to the right here for 13. This is going to bring us into a very tight drop-off down into the apex of 14, and then we're busy once again right back to the left here through 15, up over that apex, up through this very wide entry of turn 16. Get that car to rotate right to the bottom, come to throttle, race right up off the track out of the exit. And there you go. Boy, it is busy around here. The incredible Fuji Speedway. Heading down the front straightaway one more time, you can see a lot of speed picked up here and overtaking for certain on the front straight. There you go. There's your track guide for the amazing Fuji Speedway. Thank you for being with us.
And thanks so much to Kevin Ford for tonight's kind of sort of track guide of Fuji Speedway. Larry, I'm hoping that none of our racers who I think they're still actually out now for the start of qualifying. Hopefully none of them were watching Kevin's track guide tonight. Otherwise, they might find themselves taking an extra couple turns that they didn't intend on or don't need to take here this evening for our final round of season number 10. And so we do have our racers heading out on track now, Larry, for their 15-minute qualifying session, as we always do. We give them 4 laps in which to set their fastest time and set the grid for this evening's race.
Yeah, if they were watching the wrong track guide, they waited until now to figure out where the track goes. There could be some things going on. But we know here in the Ricmotech series, they don't do that. These drivers have been on here for the last 2 weeks since round number 7, practicing and getting themselves ready for this, especially those in contention to win a championship, possibly, including that guy that we just saw there. That was Leo Dragotta in his Orion GT3. Or how about this guy right here, this Bailey Petrowski guy who's waiting to potentially be anointed as champion of our GTP category. So, yeah, we've got lots of things going on here tonight. I love the America livery there.
Indeed. It seemed. I mean, it seemed so apropos at Road America, but you know, given how we've helped protect Japan since the end of World War II, maybe
perhaps we needed a little Land of the Rising Sun here tonight. But we'll leave that to Bobby and his livery skills.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and hey, want to welcome Brendan Kennedy into the chat. We haven't seen Brendan in quite some time, and good to have you here, Brendan. Also, Stubby letting us know that he won't be here to watch the race, but still checked in. I guess that means, Larry, that we'll have Bobby Childs in the chat at some point tonight, since we never see them both in the same place at the same time. All right, so drivers out on track. We've got our first qualifying times coming in. And Larry, let's quickly break down so our viewers can pick out the drivers in the 3 different classes that we have running tonight: GTP, GT3 Pro, and GT3 AM. Our GT3 AM drivers, like Stacy Bertrand here from Rockefeller Racing, you can pick all of them out because they've got the green number boards on the sides of their cars, green mirrors, windshield banners, and end plates on their wings. And if you look at the timing tower there on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll notice that AM is designated with that same green color. In GT3 Pro, we've got Jeff Brooks, who is our provisional pole sitter for the moment, and you'll see on the sides of his car, he's got the number boards in that beautiful Ricmotech red color. Same thing for the mirrors, windshield banners, and end plates on the wings, and on that ticker on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll notice that they are designated in red. And as we were talking, Travis Schwenke going to the top of the leaderboard here in GT3 Pro. And of course, in GTP, in our prototypes, we've got Bailey Petrowski here, who is currently leading the championship. And he has those black number boards on the sides of the car. And again, pretty easy to pick out the difference between that long, low GTP prototype car versus the GT3s.
This should be a very interesting night tonight with all the championships up for grabs. You alluded to the GT3 Pro category with the 4 different competitors within 10 points. So if we want to maybe take a quick look at those, because we have one of them who we're going to be interviewing tonight here pre-race. So maybe we can kind of talk a little bit about the standings and get into that interview.
Yep, indeed. Let's do that. In GT3 AM, let's take a look here. Currently, we have Ilya Speaker, who's taken 4 wins on the season. He is currently your points leader. He's got a 27-point advantage over Dominate Racing's David Steiner. David driving his BMW M4. And then we've got the Rockefeller Racing folks. We've got 3 Rockefeller Racing drivers in a row, running 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the championship. Running 3rd right now is Adam Ballard in his Lamborghini Huracan. He's currently 18 points back from Steiner, 45 out of the championship. We think that he is going to be our pre-race interview, but we may have somebody else. We'll call an audible if need be. Running 4th, Avon Dorsey in his Porsche, who is 32 points back from his teammate, and then Stacy Bertrand, another 10 points back from there. If we take a look at, let's move over to GTP, Larry, here, and as you mentioned, Bailey Petrowski sitting atop the leaderboard right now. Petrowski with 6 wins on the season. Only one other race winner so far this season. That's his teammate Palakui Grant. Petrowski for D2D Sim Racing currently has a 44-point advantage over his teammate. And again, these are both former champions.
The screen might be the points after 6 events, not 7. So just keep in mind, Greg, you've got the right ones that you're announcing to our viewers. Just be aware of that. Okay.
So John will get rid of those, and we'll lash him with a wet noodle or something later. And with the Johnny Mathis CD or something. All right, so Palakui Grant currently sitting 2nd in the championship. Tanner Dibble from DNA Motorsports in his Porsche 963, 20 points back from from Grant, running third in the championship. Nikki Chan from Last 10th Racing, also in a Porsche, is 13 points back from Dibble, 77 out of the lead. Ryan Reisman from DNA, running fifth in the championship right now in his Cadillac V Series R, currently 11 points back from Reisman, and let's see, 88 back from the lead. And so let's go over, Larry, and take a look at GT3 Pro. As I mentioned, it is awfully crowded there at the top of the championship standings. Coming off of his championship win, or probably coming off of his win at Road America 2 weeks ago, where he took over the lead in GT3 Pro from Leo Dragota. The Wrong Stuff's Ken Copeland now leads Dragota by 4 points, with the Orion Racer running second in the championship. His Orion teammate, Travis Schwenke, just another 4 points back from there, 8 points out of the lead. And then Brian Bennett from Sector 5 Racing. Brian is driving his Audi R8, and he is currently 10 points out of the championship, Larry, only 2 points back from Travis Schwenke. Jeff Brooks, another 76 points back from there. So a pretty big gap once you run back from the top four. Interesting to note that Mike Dam, who has missed out on a number of races so far this season, and he is here tonight. He has 2 wins on the season. He currently sits 7th in the championship, 125 points out, but he could definitely be a spoiler this evening. He could help Leo Dragota take over that lead and take the championship. Of course, Dragota was our Season 8 GT3 AM champion the same year that Mike Dam won his championship won a championship in Pro. Dam's won a number of times over the course of the World Challenge.
This could definitely be an interesting evening, because I'm looking at, maybe we could bring him in here in a second, talk to him. We've got Brian Bennett, who's, as you mentioned, is 4th in the championship in the standings here. So we're about 5 minutes away from going to Grave. We're going to talk to him for a minute here as we set up this final round, and I'm looking at the entry list, and I'm not sure I see him. So I see him in the green room.
Yeah, I see him in the green room. I'll tell you what. Why don't we bring him in? Let's talk to him. Because that would be a huge development if he is not going to be out on track. As a matter of fact, we had been told that he wouldn't be available to interview tonight, and we may still also have a chance to talk to Adam Ballard from Rockefeller. But let's do this. Let's bring in Brian Bennett, driver of the number 161 Sector 5 Racing Audi.
All right, so joining us here pre-race, Brian Bennett, who comes into tonight 4th in the championship standings. Brian, I was going to ask how you're doing, but I'm also looking at tonight's entry list, and I'm not sure I see you. What's happening? Brian? All right. Maybe
nothing's working for Brian tonight.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Maybe we'll work out his technical issues and try to get him back in here if we can.
Yep, indeed. So we'll drop him back down to the green room. Sorry, Brian, we'll get back to you here in just a few moments. But we do have Adam Ballard from Rockefeller Racing. Yeah. He has just come on in. Again, he is running now, Larry, 4th in the championship and only 10 point, or pardon me, running 3rd in the GT AM championship. So let's talk to Rockefeller Racing's Adam Ballard.
All right, Adam Ballard joining us here pre-race. And Adam, you've come in tonight sitting in 3rd in the championship, about 10 points or so back, or maybe 15 points back from 2nd. Running here at Fuji as the season finale approaches. How are you feeling going into tonight?
Well, I'm glad we did the math. Pretty sure I've locked up 3rd at least. There's an outside chance I can get David for 2nd, but it's going to take some hard work on my part and not so good things to happen to him. But outside of that speaks, we know he locked it up on the last race, so he's just out there showing us what real drivers do.
Well, it's good to be able to congratulate a teammate, even if he is sort of a rival here at this point, isn't it?
It really is. I was kind of hoping we could take it down to the last race, but I had some misfortunes in that last race, and it put a damper on that. But all in all, my first time racing with you guys, I'll definitely take a podium in the AM.
Yeah, it's a tough group all around. It's a good quality racing, it seems, and certainly even in here, we call it the AM, but these are some really stout driving pack here that you're competing with. Is that what you expected coming in? Did you expect this level of competition? Even what we call AM is still really good drivers.
I've outperformed what I had expected. If you ask any of my teammates, I'm a chronic. Oh man, I'm not that good. I'm slow, and then I find my race pace on race day. But I definitely didn't find myself in contention for the win in AM. I would have been happy with a top 5, but I will say that it's a really good group of guys outside of some accidents that's happened or some pros that have dropped out. It's been a really, really good season.
So does that mean we'll see you again in a future season here, World Challenge, or perhaps one of our other series in the coverage here?
Yeah, I've already signed up for the next season. Probably switching over to BMW. 99% sure of that. And I've got to look at my schedule. I definitely like to take part of a couple other series with you guys because it's really run well, and I really enjoy being here.
Well, that's always good to hear. I like having good drivers signing up for more seasons and continuing in this deep talent pool. But as we always been doing lately here in these pre-race interviews, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. So what do you do when you're not sim racing, either work or other hobbies? What keeps you busy?
Mostly work. I work for BMW manufacturer. I'm actually a BMW mechanic.
Oh, wow.
So that's fun, sweating over cars all day and then coming home and racing cars. Outside of that, I really enjoy video games mostly. I'm not your typical sim racer. I would actually say racing is my second favorite game. I know that's a sin, but I was grown and raised on RPGs,
Okay.
and that's really where I spend a lot of time. But I'm really growing into the sim racing side of things.
Well, that's good. I mean, we're not going to put machine guns on the sides of this thing or anything like that.
On the roof.
It'd be interesting, I'll say that.
On the roof of the Lambo. Yeah, that'll be good.
So you mentioned, so you're working, you do work on BMWs for a career. Is that have anything to do with why you're considering then jump into the BMW for next season, or is that just a coincidence?
That's just a coincidence. We've been doing a lot of testing for the next season, kind of seeing what we're going to drive. And I really like my driving style and the BMW. I think they meet up well. I do want to try out the new McLaren when it comes out, but that'll be the only thing that'll change my mind.
Yeah. Not going to go Mustang, Corvette, or nothing like that.
I tried the Corvette. Me and the Corvette do not get along. It doesn't fit my driving style. It's kind of a little twitchy for me, and if I even sniff grass, I'm looking the other direction.
Well, it's great to see you here. You get one more night in the Lambo, and then maybe we'll see you in that BMW next season. Appreciate you joining us here, Paris. Good luck. You got 75 minutes of this season and maybe a shot at second place, so go chase him down.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you go, everybody. That was Adam Ballard from Rockefeller Racing. We'll see him tonight in his GT3 AM Lamborghini, and as we've mentioned, he is currently sitting third in the championship. And Larry, I guarantee you, he would be in better position. He ended up giving up second in the championship to David Steiner 2 weeks ago. It was a pretty disastrous race for Adam, where he finished 14th. In a field of 17. Hopefully tonight ends up a lot better for him, and he's still got some sights on a championship here in GT3 AM.
Yep.
All right,
well,
so
we get greatest queuing up.
There we go. All right, let's take a look, Larry. You know what? I've been giving you the GTP cars, and better for everybody that I don't talk so much tonight. So let me run down the GTP starters, and then I'll hand them over to you for GT3. Starting on the pole tonight for D2D Sim Racing is going to be Bailey Petrowski with a qualifying time of 123.821. Almost 4/10 clear of the rest of the field. Tanner Dibble from DNA Motorsports will start on the outside of the front row in his Porsche. Then we've got Paulo Cui Grant, Petrowski's D2D teammate, in his Acura, will start right behind him on the inside of row number 2. Nikki Chan in the 010 Porsche will start 4th. Then we've got Jordan Butler will start 5th in his DNA Motorsports Acura, with Jake Zito starting in 6th. On the inside of row number 4, we got Bobby Childs from D2D with Jim Pfeiffer from Sector 5 starting on the outside of that row. Then we got Ryan Reisman starting 9th tonight inside of row number 5 for DNA Motorsports. Aaron Beaver from Rockefeller will start in 10th.
All right, let's jump over to our GT3s, and on the pole tonight, it's an Orion front row led by Leo Dragota. He's one of those names in the hunt here for the championship. He'll lead us away in GT3 alongside his teammate Mike Dam on that outside. That'll be interesting because right behind them, championship leader Ken Copeland going to be on the inside of row 2 alongside another Orion car, Travis Schwenke. On the next row, you've got on the inside, we got Jeff Brooks in the wrong stuff. He'll be lined up alongside our championship leader from GT3M, Ilya Speaker. On the next row behind them, Jennifer McDonald will be on the inside, Stacy Bertrand on the outside. Behind them, Robert Hartley in the Orion car alongside Rockefeller Racing's Adam Ballard, we just talked to him. Behind them, Avon Dorsey from Rockefeller and David Steiner from Dominate Racing. And I think we're about to go green.
We are, Larry. The field is lined up. They're on the front straight in the start zone. Well, they will be in the start zone right about now, as our real live starter provided by the SCCA Foundation gives the green flag, and we are off and underway as they head down this very long front straight to a very tight right-hander there, as we now see trying to make a run down the inside. Nikki Chan in the 010 Porsche there, but heading into turn 1 as your leader with just a couple of feet to spare is Bailey Petrowski. Tanner Dibble will try to slide in the second, but Paulo Cui Grant has some other thoughts, as are GT3 racers with the 2 Orion teammates of Dragota and Dam on the front straight. They get the green flag from our SCCA Foundation starter, and they now make the run down into turn number 1. Ken Copeland with his main championship competition there just ahead of him as they head down into turn 1. And Larry, this is where I think Mike Dam is going to try to play a little defense for his teammate Leo.
He just might. Looked like Copeland was trying to actually push Leo down to make sure Leo got the lead going into turn 1, give himself a chance, but I'm not sure that happened there. And you can see now that Dam is going to hold him back. And look at Leo already about 8 to 10 car lengths ahead of Dam, and then Copeland, and then Schwenke. So Copeland just surrounded by Orion drivers right now. Can't do anything about it. He's going to have to get by these guys. Good thing we've got this very long straightaway, and I suspect that Mercedes gets pretty good legs to get down that straightaway.
Yeah, we will definitely have to see. Now, Dragota was our fastest driver during practice as well, but you know, we'll see here. Copeland's gonna have his work cut out for him, although we know Copeland very, very good with saving fuel, so he might be in a good shot there. As we jump back over to our GTP traffic here, and got word from Jonathan that maybe we had a little bit of an issue with at least one of our GTP cars there on the lead lap. Yeah, and I think we had Steiner and Dorsey with some issues. Speaking of issues, though, going to take a look here is Mike Dam and Ilya Speaker dropping down through the order there, and big issues for them, as it looks like the 2 Porsches may have come together.
Yeah, Mike Dam was supposed to be helping his teammate hold off Ken Copeland, not hold off the AM leader Ilya Speaker. Let's check the replay on this one as Dam's on the outside. Ken Copeland trying to make a move on the inside. Dam just gets caught out. Look, there's contact with Copeland. Copeland able to continue, not so much for Dam. Look at Speaker, though, able to bring it to a stop without much damage. That they may take a look at. Yeah, they are. In fact, the stewards are looking at the contact between Copeland and Dam. I think the Ilya Speaker part of that is just incidental, and I see what looks like a Stephen May in the background spinning. Got all kinds of actions going on right now.
Lots of it early on. Of course, that's going to, I guess, maybe complicate things for Leo Dragota there in GT3 Pro, as he's just lost his wingman, and looks like Ken Copeland may have made up a lot of the time. Yes. Yeah.
Jake Zito missing a wing. He doesn't have a wingman or a wing on his car. He's coming into the pits right now for some repairs. Let's look at that replay. As again, is this a lone incident as he turns in and wow, yeah, just a big tail slide, perhaps a cold tires, and gets caught from behind. Was that Pfeiffer?
I think that was Jim Pfeiffer in the 0-0 Porsche, that came up behind him. And I think, Larry, maybe our racers should have been following Kevin Ford through the chicane coming through turn 10, because we've now seen in 2 different classes where drivers have had some challenges right there. Of course, Zito, unassisted. It looked like Mike Dam. We'll see. Again, it looked like maybe a little brush there between the 2 GT3 drivers.
Yeah, there was one other incident that the stewards are looking at. It looked like some sort of contact between the 66 of Michael Caffrey and the 55 of Stephen May. We had seen in the background of one of the shots, Stephen May's Ferrari spinning around. Stewards are looking, so let's see if we've got this replay. This is another angle of the Copeland and Mike Dam as they're side by side. That's going to be interesting. The stewards are looking at it. I don't know what they could do with that. That just looks like 2 drivers just trying to leave each other space. Maybe one thinking they left enough, and the other one thinking they left enough. And
And either one had lots of room on either side. So, Dam to the right and Copeland to the left. All right, let's take a look and see what happened with Stephen May in his Ferrari, the Mayforce Racing Ferrari.
He's on the inside, and that's an aggressive inside for Stephen May. He ends up taking the brunt of that as well. We'll see if the stewards think maybe that was a bit too much, or
looked a little bit late and a little deep on the brakes there, and unfortunately for him, he paid the price.
Well, having said all that, we did see David Steiner involved in at least one of those. Well, Steiner comes into this second in the championship. We just talked to his rival Adam Ballard, who's chasing down for that second place overall. Perhaps this helps Adam a little bit. As Rob Hartley, you can see, is kind of in a run with Ballard right behind him. That Rockefeller Racing Lamborghini is right behind Hartley, who's right behind Jennifer McDonald. And then you've got Charlie Hosea right in that train. And then there's a bit of a gap before you get to, looks like it might be the Mercedes.
I think Keith Stein, the 48 Mercedes. But mention that Stacey Bertrand now sitting up in the lead of GT3 AM. Running 5th overall, so good run for her so far, as she's got a pretty good gap on the BMW of Jennifer McDonald at this point.
Yeah, we got a couple of Rockefeller Racing folks here teaming up a little bit with Hosea and Ballard right behind. Looks like Rob Hartley was able to get around Jennifer McDonald there through turn 1 and 2. He's going to move a little bit. McDonald now defending against the Rockefeller team behind her. All 3 of them, in fact. One of each make. You got a Lamborghini, a BMW, and a Mercedes all lined up. All we need is an Audi.
That I don't think they brought with them tonight.
No, not tonight.
However,
I think it's Jeff Brooks that could be the only Audi in the field tonight. He's running 4th in the row.
That is correct, yeah.
Take car logos on my timing screen for 1,000, please.
It's amazing what information they provide to us.
Really
Thank
is.
you, Apex Racing TV.
Almost makes us seem smart.
One of us.
Jonathan.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, lots of bumps.
Oh
that
my
is
gosh.
that little bump on the exit of that corner. It just makes everyone sort of do a little bit of a move, a little dabble. I don't know what you want to call that.
Larry, big changes here at the front of our GTP field, as Tanner Dibble now has taken over the lead. We've got Petrowski sitting in second directly behind. Let's see what happened. It looked like they were coming up on some GT3 traffic.
Yeah, that's Russ Ruddock. Bailey's behind. Dibble just takes that opportunity to say, great, thank you, Russ. I'll use you as a pick and go right and by. And Bailey's saying, wait a minute, how did that just happen? No incident, no contact, just a little bit of just car in his way, I guess, for Bailey. So we have a race on as they go through the GT3 field. This ought to be fun. There's Stephen May having more issues in his Ferrari. Saw the contact earlier after the turn 1 incident. He's slow to get away here. I wonder if he's having some issues there in his Ferrari. Bit of replay. Just loses it there.
Yeah.
Coming out of the main straightaway. It's back at turn 16, it looks like.
Yeah, very, very odd there.
Yeah. This place is interesting. If you have not driven this in the sim, it's got a lot of undulations. As in the background there, is that who that was? It's Jordan Butler.
Jordan Butler.
Yeah. Butler with a big spin in the middle of that pack. He gets away. maybe clean, maybe not. He's got Jim Pfeiffer and the Porsche coming up behind him now, but as I'm saying, this place has got a lot of odd undulations through the corners, and it makes it very difficult to judge. It looks flat, but it's not. So let's watch Dibble now go up the inside, and he's trying to get down the inside there of the 48, which that should be.
That was Keith Stein in the Rockefeller Mercedes that came down and gave him a little bit of a pinch.
I think he was expecting to carry more speed, get by him before they got to the apex, and just kind of got himself in a tough position. It didn't quite work. For Stein, though, looks like he survived all right, as he's got a couple of teammates around him. The entire Rockefeller team having a little powwow here through turn one.
I would say GT3 cars, GTP cars, everyone. Yeah, I think Stacy Bertrand might be the only one that isn't in that shot.
Yeah, so let's see who that was. It was Eddie Chan that was the oddball out there in the GTP car running through that group. So Avon Dorsey now around the outside. Is that Bobby Childs going on the outside? That was near contact between Childs and Dorsey. And here comes again Jordan Butler trying to make a. This is such a wide track, but I tell you, it's driving like it's not wide.
Well, it's driving like it's not wide because the GT3 cars in some places, Larry, are 3 wide, and then the GTP drivers are trying to squeeze.
It's not wide enough for 4 wides everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, you did say this place started out as a NASCAR track, or at least the concept was. They are holding true tonight. Look at Jennifer McDonald and Bobby Childs almost making contact.
Oh, my.
Jordan Butler trying to stick with Bobby through here. Jennifer not leaving too much room. And Bobby's going to go around. Is that 29? Is that Ballard in the middle of that too? But he's okay. Bobby did spin.
Yeah, I think Ballard was right in the middle of it there, and we had, was that Reese? No, that wasn't Reisman. I think it was Jordan Butler, I guess.
Yeah, he had been following Bobby through that whole section, and Bobby somewhere there alongside Jennifer, and then the next one does around. So we may have a replay of this one. We have it queued up in just a second.
Oh my gosh, we're only 10 minutes in, Larry.
I know.
I was just looking at the clock to see how far we were. It's like, oh my gosh.
Right. So here's the replay. There's Bobby on the outside. That's Jennifer McDonald there. And I believe this is Adam Ballard in the Lamborghini just in front. Bobby just turns it. Actually gets touched by Jordan
he got touched
Butler.
by, Butler got him tapped him in the rear, which sent him around.
Yeah, so Butler just having some issues here tonight, been near a couple of incidents there. So just a quick update. We'd seen Stephen May and his Ferrari having some issues. He actually just decided to call it a night from his Ferrari. Life calls, and he claims that he's got a certification test tomorrow, and he just doesn't have his head clear. We all get that. We've had that from time to time, and some nights you just go, you know what, it's not working. So, Steve, we'll see you at the next race, start of next season.
Yep, and of course, season number 11, Larry, of the World Challenge. Great segue. Starts
and by the way, good luck to Stephen on his certification.
Yeah, exactly. Don't know what that certification is for. Hopefully it's something life-saving or something. Yeah. But season number 11 of the World Challenge starts up again very, very soon. Going to be September 9th, so just, about 3 weeks from now. And unfortunately, don't have a venue yet for you, but obviously keep tuned.
Very, very soon, and I'm sure registration may be open if there's open spots. At least check it out.
Funny you should mention that, Larry. If you want to join us on the grid for any one of our Ricmotech races except for the World Challenge, head on over to xmsracing.com. And that is because the Ricmotech World Challenge for Season 11 is already sold out. The grid is full. 63 entries signed up already. Great. Yeah, absolutely. But if you want to, if you do want to be part of the Ricmotech Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge, and opening round is, it's next Monday night. Go ahead to xmsracing.com to get more information. Hopefully we'll see you on the grid. That is for our GT4 and LMP3 racers.
All right, so quick update then. We had the early incident, the one that may affect points, that would be between your championship leader at G3 Pro, Ken Copeland, and Mike Dam, who's a teammate to a couple of guys that were in the championship contention. The contact has been reviewed. No incident, no action further on that one, so we'll let that one go. As Ken Copeland now is running second, about 2 seconds back from Leo Dragotta in GT3 Pro, and a couple seconds ahead of Travis Schwenke. All part of this championship run here coming down to tonight's race.
Yeah, and as I've been watching the deltas between Copeland and Travis Schwenke, Larry, Copeland's been opening up a gap at about 3 to 4 tenths per second almost every single lap. A little bit more the last time by. I think it was around 5 tenths. But he's on his he's trying to work his way up to Dragota, and they were, I think, within a couple hundredths of a second of one another on the last lap.
And remember, coming into tonight, Ken Copeland's on quite a run. He has won, I think it's 4 out of the last 5 rounds. He comes in on 3 in a row, from Nürburgring Grand Prix to Interlagos to Road America, all wins to put himself in this position after a bit of a rough, as well as a couple of DNSs early in the season. So he's getting on a good run. It's whether or not Schwenke and Dragota can catch him. Now, the 4th person in the championship coming in tonight was Brian Bennett. It's originally scheduled to be our pre-race interview. I've actually been messaging with Brian. He did have some technical difficulties. He was not planning on racing tonight, because he's driving across the country.
Oh,
and
okay.
Country being the country, he lives in the U.S. Obviously, for some of our viewers around the
No,
world.
he's not driving across Japan.
It's a big. Driving across Japan takes east to west doesn't take that long, but here in the United States, it's a little larger. But he's in an area now, unfortunately, where his signal wasn't as strong as he was hoping it would be, and he's not going to be available. I did tell him if he's not racing and he can find some good signal, maybe we'll still mid-race if things settle in, we can bring him in. But we'll see if he comes back. If not, hopefully he keeps 2 hands on the wheel and keeps that driving going across the country smoothly. A little more smooth than a race has been so far here.
All right, so recapping right now, Tanner Dibble, still your leader in GTP, having used that traffic to his advantage to get around Bailey Petrowski, our championship leader. Paulo Cui Grant currently sitting 3rd. Here, about 3.5 seconds back from the lead. Now 2.5 seconds back from the lead. Nikki Chan running in 4th, Aaron Beaver 5th. In GT3, it is Leo Dragota, your leader, with Ken Copeland 2nd, Travis Schwenke and Jeff Brooks. Stacy Bertrand, who is your GT3 AM leader for Rockefeller Racing there in Porsche. Stacy currently running 5th of all of our GT3 drivers. And, I don't want to say it's a surprise, Larry, but, last couple of rounds, we've seen some of our AM racers sitting up in like the top 3 here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that going around these days, and it's kind of great to see. And for Stacy, up here right now, running in 5th, comes in tonight 5th in the championship, just 10 points behind 4th. You never know, things can start moving around, so we'll keep our eye on Stacy and what she's doing.
Yeah, it was great. We had Stacy in the booth pre-race a couple of rounds ago, telling us about some of her real life racing experiences.
Yeah, real life racers, and those are always the most fun ones that come out of the real life racing world and have to readjust to the sim, and she's done that quite well.
Indeed, yeah, certainly better than me, and I think we both started racing right around the same time, and have some of the same challenges.
You can adjust the sim very well. I've seen you at Summit in the sim, put it in the turn 3 gravel the same way you do in real life.
Just like in real life. Thanks, Larry. That's not true. It's usually I loop myself down at turn 5. Anyway. Oh my gosh. All right. So Bailey Petrowski starting to make some headway, Larry, and starting to close things down. And interestingly enough, as they're coming up on the BMW of Russ Ruddock, it would have been interesting to see them swap positions there, but it is not to be.
That was good for Brockway to tuck in behind Ruddock and just keep a single file down the middle of the track of the 2 GT3s as the GTPs split sides and went all the way around between Petrowski and Dibble. That was just fascinating. These guys they're both fast. We know Dibble has had a history of very strong speed, as well as Petrowski, who just clinched our LMP3 championship in our sports car series last week. So he's
and Dibble's our season 9 GTP champion, Larry. Things haven't really worked out for him as such this season, but still,
defending champ coming in,
yeah.
As far as he's concerned, the championship isn't Bailey's until the checkered flag drops tonight, so he's going to give it a go and maybe at least get a win out of this. He's got the pace. Certainly, he's doing a great job in traffic is what he's doing. He's being efficient. Bailey was being very conservative, and that's why he lost that position. You look at this, Tanner making sure he gets up underneath the inside of Michael McCaffrey. He's trying to get around Jeff Jacobs. Anything he can do to stick a car between himself and Bailey, he's trying to do that.
Let's see here, and that's that corner is so challenging right there, coming through turn 13. Yeah.
It seems like they always catch them there. Like they're not catching in the middle of the front straight. No, that'd be too easy. They're catching them in that last section. I think it's because the GTPs are just so darn fast through the last, corners 14, 15, 16, or whatever they're numbered without the chicane. The GTPs are so quick to there, but that's where I was mentioning this track has got undulations. It's a little bit on, a little bit off banked, and it's a little crazy. The GT3 car, difficult to control. They're tiptoeing. GTPs are still flying through.
Yeah, exactly. The GTP car is still through that section there. The aero advantages they have certainly still working even at those lower speeds where the GT3 cars are just really looking for grip. As Andre Wedderburn seems to be a little bit off the pace here. Let's see what happened to him. So this is coming down into turn 1.
Well, he has a little bit of damage to his left front at this point and may have gotten into the back of the 86 San Jose. I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was Josea's Porsche, and then obviously got the little tap once
Actually,
again.
That was Speaker. That was Ilya Speaker in the 86. Who's on his own bit of a recovery drive here after that lap 2 incident with Mike Dam. It's Josh Vidal there having some damage to the front of his Mercedes. His front of his Mercedes left. Adam Ballard continues his run tonight now that he probably already knows how David Steiner's night has gone, or in this case, not gone.
Not gone. Yeah.
He had never made it past the first corner in this race. So for Ballard, he's thinking this is a big opportunity. As he sits about 2 seconds out of the AM lead behind Stacy Bertrand. So he would like to get some. He's doing a good job right now holding Jennifer McDonald behind him. But those two, if I recall, they've been locked together now for a number of laps. McDonald and Ballard. Running pretty quick laps at this point, both running in the mid 37s for the last few times around.
And also notable, Larry, is, as you mentioned, Ilya Speaker, who's currently running 6th in AM on that recovery drive after coming up upon the Mike Dam incident or issue over in the last corner that Speaker, who came into the evening as our GT3 AM leader with a 27-point advantage. I don't know, although we've got 14 drivers in the field. I'm not going to break out the abacus. I don't think the abacus is necessary, Larry, but I don't think that that Stacy Bertrand at the moment, probably not Stacy Bertrand, but Adam Ballard, who is sitting 3rd in the championship right now, or David Steiner anyway, for them to really make up the gap.
Yeah, well, we know Steiner can't because he's actually already disconnected from the session.
Exactly.
But whether or not Ballard, I don't believe so. I think even Adam had said pre-race that Ilya's lead was probably insurmountable, so
yeah.
That may be done. We'll obviously let Kevin Ford, the team, do the map at the end of the night and see where that goes.
Sure.
And Corellia, he's currently back in 6th in AM and around 15th in GT3. What's helping a little bit for Speaker, if there is any possible for overtaking in that championship, is the fact that there's 4 pro category cars leading this race in GT3, blocking any of the GT3 AMs from possibly scoring more points.
More points, exactly.
Yes, that's helping his cause a little bit, but not while Stacy is doing well, 5th overall in the GT3s. It's not quite like running first when it comes down to final points award. And man, look at this traffic. Look how crazy this is. As Mike Dam even is saying, you guys just go right ahead.
Just
fellas.
go.
Yeah. It was Ryan Reisman, I think, that maybe just went through there.
Yeah.
Jim Pfeiffer. He's got Michael Caffrey. That is for position, as we know Mike Dam is on a bit of a recovery. Mike Dam comes into this having won this class season 8, season 7, season 6. This season, I think he's taken a couple of weeks off, so this hasn't been a typical Mike Dam sort of season. But when he's in, he's usually on. Clearly one of the, I hate to even call him a legend, but he kind of is around the Ricmotech series. Means a lot, to put it that way. got a couple in front of him now. That looks like John Casey and Jeff Jacobs.
Jeff Jacobs. Yeah, and Casey is, I think, 5 laps down, Larry. So Jeff Jacobs would be fourth position.
John Casey spent about 6 minutes in the pits taking on some repairs. Great to see him back out here, finding out the rest of the season.
All right, let's jump back up to this battle for the lead in GTP. And it was funny, Larry, about 6 or 7 laps ago, director Jonathan was doing his best Jaws impression. As if Petrowski was on the march and he was coming. But Petrowski's been holding a pretty static gap up to Dibble.
Not only is he holding a decent gap there, the gap behind Bailey seems to be steadying as well, and that's probably Grant. So when you think about it, I believe we're looking at the last 3 championship winners in GTP are lined up on the track right now between Dibble, Petrowski, and Grant. I think even in that order may have won seasons, 9, 8, and 7 in this class. So 3 of the fastest that we've ever had are all right now on the screen in the same shot there. Very cool to see. And I wonder, what is the strategy here for Petrowski? Is he just thinking turn laps, save some fuel, perhaps? Is he matching Dibble, or is Dibble just got the pace and he's just tough to catch tonight?
Well, earlier in the week in practice, Larry, Bailey was your fastest driver, was turning mid 124s, and so all 3 of these drivers are definitely a bit off of that pace right now. So he may have something else in the tank.
Yeah, so far fastest laps, they're all hovering right about a 25.0. I think the quickest at 24.85 for Bailey, but they're turning normally about a mid 25. So we'll keep our eye on that. Speaking of keeping our eye on things, Mike Dam going to be in for the early stop here into the pits.
Yeah,
Are
and
we
this
within the
is
window?
a little surprising, Larry, because I didn't think that the pit window for the GT3 cars would open up maybe for another 2 laps or so. Dam having completed 14 laps, and we didn't think the window would open until lap 17. So we'll see. Maybe he's trying to get some repairs done from that earlier incident. We'll see.
Do you think it's possible he's hoping to come out in front of Ken Copeland and play spoiler to Copeland and help Leo? Wouldn't that be interesting? Which, if that's true, Copeland would probably try to pit as soon as he could to get away from that.
Get away from him, yeah.
You never know. Stranger things have happened when it comes to team tactics and team support. Speaking of team, there's Ilya Speaker, part of the big Rockefeller Racing team. He's on his own bit of a recovery here, but he's doing quite well. His next, I don't want to call it victim, but his next potential for pass would be Keith Stein, who I think is another Rockefeller Racing driver. Mercedes. One of the guys. He's one of the guys that has pace sometimes to win the overall, even as an AM driver. Tonight, obviously caught up in the early incident. He's going to have to recover it, but he's got the pace to do it.
And of course, Ilya took the win 2 weeks ago at Road America to take win number 4 on the season, and his teammate Keith Stein finished in 3rd, just behind David Steiner, and it was pretty close there at the end. Only about a second and a half or so separating Steiner and Stein there, with Avon Dorsey, another Rockefeller Racing, finishing in 4th, just off the podium.
If I look at, there is a way in our point standings to figure out what if Ilya Speaker was running GT3 Pro, he would be 5th in points, 2 points behind Brian Bennett.
Wow.
So, and which means he would only be 12 points out of the championship lead behind Ken Copeland. That's how good a season Ilya Speaker's had. And we've got contact. And that was Rocky Rocco that just went off into the wall hard.
Another one of our Rockefeller racers very hard in the wall. And was that our leader, Tanner Dibble, that might have gotten together with him, Larry?
We're going to have to see the replay on that to see what happened. And good timing. Thank you, Jonathan. Here is... Oh, give us a second there. There is Mr. Rocco on the inside, Wedderburn on the outside. So they're going to go side by side into 2.
Okay, so that was before Dibble. Okay, so Dibble and Petrowski came right up on him as he was still, as the rear end was still walking around.
Yeah, lucky for them,
Wow.
they didn't get caught up in that, but that looks
No.
like Wedderburn and Rocco may have tangled a little bit. Tangled through that corner. It's a wide track, but sometimes it just seems like it's just not wide enough.
Well, we've discussed that that Wedderburn, for as many years as we've joked about Jeff Jacobs having the widest Mercedes or widest BMW, I think Wedderburn may have taken over the title of widest Mercedes here in this series.
He's around a lot of it, I'll put it that way. And the stewards actually are looking at it. We'll see if they have anything to say. Again, it'd be tough. We've seen a lot of incidents that I'm not going to call him out for causing them. I'm just saying he's near them because he does. He defends a lot, which is fine. It's what we're here to do. And we'll see what the stewards have to say. He's not necessarily driving into people and causing them. He's in that point in the pack. Could also be with his.
He gets
pace.
a lot of good airtime for his sponsors, Larry.
It does, but he has a lot of good pace, which means his pace puts him in these battles, and people are trying to get by him, and that's just sometimes the way racing is. We'll see what the stewards have to say. I didn't see anything blatantly wrong with how he defended there. It's just maybe an inch or two could have been better from both drivers. We'll see what the stewards have to say.
All right, so Rocky Rocco, who we just saw in that incident, takes his Porsche back to the pits. He's now in the box there and getting some repairs. Should mention, Larry, that tonight is the night, with it being the final round of season number 10. Two big prize giveaways here this evening. Our sponsor, Buttkicker, is going to be providing a driver once again with a Buttkicker Gamer Plus package valued at $279.95 to be awarded after tonight's race. And our title sponsor, Ricmotech, will be giving away to one lucky driver $100 in Ricmo Bucks to be used on their website for any Ricmotech products.
Great products. Can't wait to give those away tonight as we wind out the championship season. This is season number 10 here of the World Challenge, isn't it? It's like just yesterday we were starting this series, and look at what's grown into, where we've got 63 registered for the grid next season. That's fantastic. Can't wait for that to start in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think I wasn't here for season 1 with you, Larry, but I think I came on board for season number 2, and it's been a nice run.
Yeah.
Or Arthur Chan taking the championship win in LMP2 that season.
Yeah.
Elvis Rankin, young Elvis.
Yeah.
I see so much of Elvis in Leo and in Leo Dragotta, and also in his former teammate and his brother as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Elvis Rankin, if you don't know who he is, go look him up. He's still working on getting that racing career going. He's done some real stuff. He's done a lot of the high-level sim competitions. Kid knows what he's doing. So I like to keep our eye on him because he did sort of start out, did a lot of interviews with us because he won a lot of races with us. So it's great to see that kind of transition from coming on, using this league as a great kind of a place to really cut your teeth on, to really get in and race against some of the best. So when you think you're any good, come benchmark yourself against the likes of Ken Copeland and Mike Dam, or Billy Petrowski and Tanner Dibble. Come benchmark yourself. You might find you got a few things to learn. These guys are pretty good.
All right, we're watching Stacy Bertrand right now. She is your leader in GT3 AM. Right behind her, Robert Hartley running 5th in Pro for Orion Racing. And Jennifer McDonald a couple seconds back from there.
Yes, Jennifer McDonald looks like was able to get around Adam Ballard for a little while there. Ballard in the other Rockefeller car was leading that pairing, but now it's Jennifer sitting there ahead in that battle. And they're not really far behind what we just saw. You can see all of them there between Bertrand, Hartley, McDonald, and Ballard, all still kind of in a bit of a train, each about a second or so apart. So anything can happen as we're getting closer to that pit window of this group. This could be a very interesting way to run down the end of this race. We flash to the lead of the overall here in GT3, and that's, of course, the lead in GT3 and the lead in GTP right there, with Leo Dragotta leaving away for Dibble and Petrowski to go burn it on by.
Yeah, and Petrowski now starting to put on the pressure here, Larry.
Tells me he may be thinking this may be an opportunity to come in for an early pit stop if you're Petrowski.
Well, we've actually broken into the window for our GTP racers. Pit window opened up right around lap 20, and can get about 32 laps worth of fuel out of these cars here this evening. So let's take a look and we'll see. Maybe Petrowski, as we come up to that 12-13 little complex, and then we'll call 14 tonight, the final corner, the Panasonic corner, leading drivers onto the front straight right here. Let's see, maybe we'll see Petrowski poke his head down into the pit lane.
It could be. That's sometimes, you start switching up strategies and things. Does that look like maybe what he's going to be doing? No, he's going to stick back there. No. Maybe he's also getting closer to save fuel.
Right.
If you're close enough, you get a little bit of that draft pull, and then you can really save fuel against your rival and make this a quick stop. And we know that Petrowski's been pressured in the last couple of races, and has had to really work. We saw a stretch there, whether it's here or in the Sports Car Series, where it didn't look like he was really being pressured. But I think the last couple rounds in both those series, the pressure came on, everyone caught up to his pace, and now he's got to work for it. And tonight, he's got to think about other strategies. He may have to think about optimizing his fuel stop. He may have to think about saving the tires to try and win this thing. This is not going to be an easy one for Bailey, because Tanner's saying, not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso says. Ball sports.
All right, we've got coming down the pit lane now. That is Ilya Speaker. Is going to be pitting in from 5th in AM. Again, he is your GT3 AM championship leader at the moment.
Yeah, this will be interesting because he had the early issues where he had to stop because there was a Mike Dam in his way, literally a dam on the track he couldn't get past. And he's been on a pretty good recovery. Well, we saw Mike Dam do his own early stop a few laps back. So will Speaker and Dam come out in similar places on track? We'll have to see. And I'd expect both of them to be equally fast trying to make their way back up through the field.
And Larry, we might have had an incident on track. I noticed that looked like Bobby Childs, who is on the pit lane now, and possibly Aaron Beaver in his GTP BMW might have gotten caught up. Let's take a look here. Here's Bobby Childs coming down into one.
Yeah, and it's already happened in front of him.
Oh, there you go. So
yeah, that was Beaver, the car that was cross track and leaving Bobby. And that's, I tell you, if you sit, we're gonna have to get an onboard shot of one of these GTPs because the visibility is not spectacular. You're trying to, on a sim, try to make a right-hand corner. There's the Beaver spin, and yeah, nowhere for Bobby to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. You turn in a corner like that, and you just can't see around it. Aaron did everything he could. You could see there to back up and get out of the way as fast, but it was not fast enough to.
Yeah, and Bobby also had a GT3 car coming underneath him as well. Just not a good place to be at. And as you mentioned, that corner there, turn 1, it is so tight. It is downhill. It is, if you fall out of the groove right by the apex, it kind of flips to an off-camber corner. It is a very difficult complex right there.
All right, so this is Avon Dorsey right behind teammate Heath Stein, running for 3rd and 4th in the AM class. Again, they're teammates, but doesn't stop them from racing hard. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yep, and they've been at it now for a number of laps. But let's do this, Larry, as we watch the two Rockefeller racers and watch right now as we've got that's Jim Pfeiffer in the Porsche sneaking past them. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Thanks to our partners and sponsors, and when we come back, we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag here at Season 10 finale, the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge, presented by the SCCA Foundation and Buttkicker, and we'll be right back.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts, Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org. The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
And welcome back to Fuji Speedway, where you're watching the season 10 finale of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge, presented by the SCCA Foundation and Buttkicker. I'm Greg Ginsberg, along with Larry Lefty McLeod. And Larry, yes, it's all my fault. As we went to break, we did have Tanner Dibble pit in from the lead in GTP. That now turns the lead back over to Bailey Petrowski, with Paulo Grant running in second. And this is, well, we'll see here how many flyers Petrowski can put in, and whether he can make up that difference to Dibble.
Hasn't done it yet. This lap he just did was a 25.5. We'll see what this next time by is. In front of him there, that's actually that should be Jordan Butler. He'll be a lap down if Petrowski can go round him. Petrowski still only has a 2-second lead on teammate Paulo Grant, but I think it's an interesting move there for Dibble to come in for the early stop and sort of separate himself, especially if he thought he was giving a tow and potential fuel saving opportunity to Bailey. That's a great time to come in and do what Tanner did. So that really shakes things up, as Jennifer McDonald now is going to come in.
And should mention, I think Jordan Butler actually now, Larry, is already a lap down to Petrowski. Would have put him 2 laps down. As you mentioned, Jennifer McDonald coming into the pits as she pits in from, I think, 7th in pro. Or 6th in pro, I believe.
And she had been in a battle there, of course, with Rob Hartley and with Stacey Bertrand and Adam Ballard. She was actually catching the Bertrand and Hartley battle, so good opportunity for her to come in if she thinks she was actually going to get held up by them. So again, more good strategic stops as Nikki Chan, another one coming in for a stop.
That's right, so Chan pitting in from 3rd in GTP. Gosh, that's a long pit lane.
Pit boxes are all at the front. That's where he's going to head. There's someone. There's the Keith Stein Mercedes that just stopped. On his way out, but we are still waiting for Leo Dragota, Ken Copeland, Travis Schwenke, your front 3 in GT3 Pro to stop as we go on board again with Rob Hartley still staring at the back of Stacey Bertrand's number 52 Rockefeller Racing Porsche, where he's been for quite a while. It's pretty much the last, I don't know, what do you say, about 10 laps or so?
10 laps, maybe 12 laps, something like that.
Yeah, great run here for Bertrand. Continued to lead in GT3 AM, Hartley 5th in GT3 Pro. Looks like a Russ Ruddock, who's 1 lap down from the lead there in front of him, acting as a nice tow vehicle for them down the front straight.
And you know, when we had discussed, Larry, when Mike Dam came in for that early pit stop, if he was going to try and insert himself into that Dragota and Copeland battle, don't think, as I'm looking to see where Mike Dam is on track, he's actually he's not that far ahead of the pair on track currently.
Yeah, he's not too much. A couple of corners ahead. I don't think he's doing any sort of shenanigans to slow down. But in fact, right now, after her pit stop, Jennifer McDonald, I think, is there right behind him.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of the pace of these two competitors. Jennifer had been running up in the top, 5 or 6 in the pro. So that puts Mike Dam in that conversation here, having started on the front row and gone through that first lap spin, that he's already worked his way back up. So maybe shenanigans weren't really afoot, just a really strong recovery drive.
All right, just got word from race control, Larry. We saw that contact earlier between Jordan Butler in the number 72 Acura getting into the back of Bobby Child's 88 Acura. Well, Butler has now been assigned a drive-through penalty for that incident.
And Bobby Childs has disconnected.
You know what that means, Larry? Karaoke. Maybe we could ask him to sing 3 times a lady.
All right, so things are still going here, and we've got coming into the pits Adam Ballard, who's sitting in second in the AM category, would like to run down second in that championship in AM. This will be his last pit stop of the season. Let's see what he can do.
And Charlie Hosea, his Rockefeller teammate, pits the number 100 BMW pits that car in, and we'll see where he comes out as he pitted in, I think, from 4th in probably from 6th in pro.
Waiting for the front half of the GT3 field. It seems like none of them have really flinched. I think Jennifer was the highest runner that came in, and then Adam, of course, came in. Still waiting for a few others.
And we anticipated, Larry, that the pit window would close right around lap 30 for the GT3 drivers, and we see now as the 118 Porsche of Leo Dragota, right behind Jeff Jacobs there, crosses the line. He completes 28 laps, so we're getting pretty close to the end of that pit window.
Yeah, and Ken Copeland, speaking of close, continuing to follow fairly closely, and you can see Copeland's Mercedes right back there, trying to keep within earshot here. He's 1.5 seconds back. The two of them staying very close. It's going to come down to potentially pit stop execution, and then the closing laps in this thing, perhaps some traffic management as well, as Stacey Bertrand pits from the lead in GT3M.
And Avon Dorsey follows follows his teammate onto the pit lane as well. So the two Rockefeller racers pitting in from 1st and 2nd in AM.
We'll see if Michael Caffrey and Josh Vidal, who's sitting 3rd and 4th, do that. Caffrey does not. He maintains another lap, so we'll see Caffrey going around one more time. But I got to figure Ken Copeland is really going all the way to the end on his fuel now. We've seen him do amazing things on fuel management. We've seen the whole Orion team do some really fantastic fuel management strategies. So between the two front runners tonight, we'll see who flinches first. Don't forget Travis Schwenke, just 6 seconds back from that coming into tonight. Those 4 names, or those 3 names, I should say, were separated by 8 points between Dragota and Copeland and Schwenke, with Schwenke in 3rd needing to do the most work. Dragota in 2nd, Copeland in the lead. So.
All right, Larry, so our 2 leaders in GTP, both from D2D Sim Racing, Bailey Petrowski and Poliqui Grant, they are coming down the pit lane now, just as Tanner Dibble, who was our former leader, just reset fast lap. And we can see who blinked first and in GT3 Pro, and it was Ken Copeland, Larry. As he comes down the pit lane, Travis Schwenke follows him in from 3rd. And so that now is going to move Jeff Brooks up into 2nd. Leo Dragota, our pole sitter tonight, and has been leading from the drop of the green flag. He is going to take at least one final lap before he brings his car down the pit lane again on lap 30 right now. So right at the tail end of that pit window.
There went Dibble. Let's see where he is relative here. Dibble does regain the lead ahead of Petrowski and Grant, the two teammates.
Wow.
Only about 2 seconds between them. This will be fascinating around the last 25 minutes of this race here to see how this pans out. It's going to be right down to the wire here in GTP, it seems. GT3, we just saw Copeland finishing his pit stop, waiting on the Leo Jagoda to take his. Schwenke did come in, as you mentioned. Schwenke came out behind Copeland.
Which we kind of expected.
Yeah.
Schwenke was a couple seconds back from Copeland when they came down the pit lane. And looking to see if they made up any ground. Yeah.
Copeland may have come out quite a bit in front of Schwenke, so that really helps his cause to shed one potential challenger in this championship fight up to the end. Here comes Jagoda. This is where it's going to come down to it. Jagoda now in 1 lap after Copeland. So, who comes out in the lead? Jagoda had about a 1.5 second advantage before Copeland came in. Does that stay when he finishes this lap?
All right, and Jeff Brooks now pitting in from second in the Sector 5, or probably the wrong stuff machine.
Rob Hartley and Michael Caffrey, I think, are the last 2 cars on track, and here comes Hartley.
All right, so right at the end of that pit window, 30 laps.
And Hartley's in that battle with Jennifer McDonald and with Stacey Bertrand and a few others, so we'll see where he comes out. All right, there's Leo. Where's Copeland? There he is.
We'll see. I think one of the probably the only GT3 racer remaining to come down the pit lane is Michael Caffrey.
It's gonna be close. Looks like Jagoda's maybe gonna have the advantage. It's gonna be just tight as can be. Remember, Copeland's got a lap under his car. He's got plenty of warmth in whatever tires he's running. Jagoda, though, has the track position, and here we go. 25 minutes remaining to decide who's the champion in GT3 Pro.
And Larry, I think the difference comes down to the time in the pit box where Jagoda, about a 1.5 seconds less time in the box than Ken Copeland.
That's fantastic stuff for Leo. He actually, when the pit stop started between he and Ken, it was a 1.5 second difference. It's now, again, a 1.5 second difference. So let's see, what can Copeland do? Can he find his way to close the gap on his rival? Did he save anything in that car for the last 20 minutes or so? That curbing there in turn 10.
The curbing that you'd never see people when we use the chicane would never be anywhere near. But my, how it launches a car.
All right, well, we knew that Hartley and McDonald and Bertrand were going to come out awfully close to each other. And here you go. There's Hartley, 6th in Pro. There's McDonald, 7th in Pro. And then 2nd now in AM is Stacey Bertrand. Behind them, about 4 seconds. I suspect she had an issue somewhere. Actually, I take that back because Michael Caffrey hasn't stopped.
Has not, right. Caffrey's the only AM driver yet, or the only driver yet to pit, and there he is.
Right on cue.
And gets the car slowed down, so we think.
Aussie is the last one in.
That's it. Yep. So that should move Bertrand back to the lead in GT3 AM.
Should.
And you know, and Larry, we were talking earlier about the great recovery that Mike Dam has made. If you look at this, Dam now up into 5th on track in GT3.
Yeah, that's a great run there. About 2 seconds ahead of his teammate, Rob Hartley. Jennifer McDonald, of course, right there. Stacey Bertrand just a little bit back from them. So, yeah, great run here for Mike Dam, considering what happened to him there in that opening lap. And Bertrand does resume the lead in GT3 AM. There she is. Must be something about Porsches around this track tonight. Just looking at this and seeing a lot of our leaders tonight. A couple of them in these Porsches. Obviously, Jagoda in one of them. We know Mike Dam's having a good recovery drive in his Porsche. Stacey Bertrand leading the way in AM.
Yeah, I was to say as we look through the top
Tanner
10
Dibble is in a Porsche. A little different, not 911, but
So Bailey Petrowski just reset fast lap, Larry, and ran a half-second faster than Tanner Dibble on that last lap, but he's now almost 3.5 seconds back from our leader. So he's lost some time. And
There'll be a lot more.
Oh my! As Petrowski clouts the wall, and he is looks like, well, let's see if he's going to put that car back out on track. But you know, same place, Larry. We've been talking about that corner, turn 10, all night long. The Dunlop corner,
and he just gave up and said, "That's it." He called the tow, couldn't snap the car around. I think frustration just took over. Our championship leader, Petrowski, let's go on board with him as he comes down into what used to be a very tight chicane. Comes into it now as a kink, and the car just gets all the way out to that grass and snaps, and all he can do is hang on and say hi to the marshal standing there next to him, and couldn't get the car turned around. You can see he's trying to do a little snap spin in the grass. He just can't quite get it to go. And just decided the night is over. Let's wait and see how the points go, but we know he's got a pretty big lead. So Tanner Dibble dodging one bullet there. Can Paulie Grant now mount the charge?
And Paulie Grant, our season 8 GTP champion, sitting about 5.5 seconds back from the lead.
Seen stranger things for sure. Oof, that line when they put the tires in the grass out there. Now I've seen it so many times, it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
And I think, Larry, as we were watching to see what happened to Bailey Petrowski, Jake Zito had an issue in the number 109 Cadillac. He now finds himself on the pit lane.
There's Grant going inside of the 52 of Bertrand. She would have nothing to do with Paulie Grant going by. She's still sitting in the lead in her class.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Actually, you know, Zito just now leaving the pit lane, so perhaps Jake Zito felt he wasn't going to have enough fuel to make it to the end, so he is now back out on track.
Sometimes refueling doesn't go as well as you hope, and you got to go back in and get more. Shot of the Rockefeller Racing team there. Dorsey, Stein, that's Hosea at the front of that train. Actually, I take that back. That's Ballard, Hosea, and Dorsey. Stein is in a Mercedes, not in that shot. That's Stein in front of Jeff Jacobs. All of these Rockefeller Racing teams, I tell you, I wonder how many of our 63 cars on next season's grid are Rockefeller Racing entries. We have to have a Rockefeller Racing class.
All right, so we've got just about 20 minutes remaining here, and it is Tanner Dibble, your leader in GTP, with Paulie Grant and Nikki Chan, top 3. In GT3 it's Stacy Bertrand, your leader, with Adam Ballard second, Avon Dorsey third, and in GT3 Pro, your GT3 pole sitter tonight, Leo Dragota with the lead, Ken Copeland second, Travis Schwenke running in third, and Mike Dam, who started off on that front row. Big incident on the opening lap. He now finds himself up in 5th position. And still just,
what about? Close. Potential to close. I would say he's closing. The last time by Brooks was a little bit quicker. So Jeff Brooks right now running in 4th in Pro was, in fact, 2/10 of a lap on the last lap quicker than Mike Dam. But, again, stranger things have happened, so we'll keep our eye on that. Flash again back to our battle of Ballard and Hosea. Dorsey, the 3 Rockefeller Racing teammates, 2 of them from AM running 2nd and 3rd, and then Hosea in the middle of them, running 8th and Pro. As we're on board here with Hosea, watching Ballard. That Lambo does not like curves. I think that might be one thing. He talked about, Ballard says this is his last night. He'll be running the Lamborghini. For next season, he's going to go to the BMW. And I guess his BMW is more stable over curbing than those Lambos. We're on board, of course, with Hosea in a BMW. Lambos, I've driven the Lambo a couple of times, and it always seems to have it's good, it's fast, except 1 or 2 moments, and it just snaps on you. The BMW, even the Porsche, don't seem to have that issue, at least in my experience.
Now, iRacing is due to update one of the BMWs, and I think it's the GT4 version of the GT4 version of the M4.
Okay, we'll see that in our other series
Yeah, just a few
next
weeks.
week. I was meant to look at the background shots here at Fuji, if we could actually see Fuji or if it's too overcast today. Fuji tends to hide amongst the clouds.
Yes.
A mysterious volcano that decides every once in a while to show its face. All right, so we're just about to hit the last 15 minutes of this thing as we are in the 59th minute. So Leo Jagoda now 3 seconds ahead of Ken Copeland. Remember, that was about 1.5 seconds when they came out of the pit. So Leo laying him down right now.
Ooh. And you'll notice there Ballard running very, very wide out of that corner. They're getting a lot of grass, Larry, that, if the rear end of that Lamborghini isn't
we need
stable.
a flash to the GTP lead right about now as I'm watching some numbers on the screen.
Oh, yes, we should.
As Tanner Dibble's lead is down to less than a second to Paulie Cooey Grant. So
And the last time we checked in, it was 5.5 seconds, Larry.
I'm wondering if perhaps Tanner Dibble didn't feel as much as he wanted to because his lap times are not challenging Paulie Cooey Grant's right now.
The last lap, Larry, was almost 2 full seconds off of Grant's, so 1 3/4 seconds off of Grant's times, and yeah, that could very well be the case. When Dibble was in the pit lane, he was in the pits for almost 2 seconds more than Paulo Cui Grant.
Yeah.
And remember that Dibble came in.
So
close
this
to the
could
end.
just be a traffic management thing more than anything.
Yeah.
But let's see now that it looks like Grant is within draft range. We'll see if Dibble's also in draft range in front of him. Let's see which one that is. Josh Vidal. Yeah, so he's getting a little bit of pull, but here comes Paulie Cooey Grant. Now we know that these aero cars like this, when they get too close, sometimes they get a bit of aero wash and they can't quite. But we've also seen good racing between them, and having such a long straightaway here at Fuji could present opportunities for Grant to maybe make a pass inside of the last 15 minutes. So this is when it is time to play for reals. This is where it counts. Season 8 champion challenge, Season 9 championship for the finale of Season 10. Season 7 was publicly Grand Championship in this class. Dibble, of course, the defending champ from Season 9. Definitely some traffic coming up ahead. I see a Jeff Jacobs. It might be a Stein.
Stein, I believe.
There is it. Background.
Yeah.
They take a mountain of an overtake here to win this thing, but Paulie Cooey Grant's going to give it a shot. Around the outside rim of the corner for the rim shot. Look at this. He's up under the back of him though through turn 1. He's giving it a go. He's down to just 3/10, and that draft looked like it was useful there on the front straightaway. Yeah, looking like he's feeling like this race might be his. What do you got, about 7 laps perhaps to go
Yeah, given
lot of racing.
yeah, about a little bit less than a minute and a half per lap. Yeah.
Yeah, this could get dicey. So for Grant, if he's confident where he can make the move, he may wait. If he's not confident, maybe he's thinking some traffic can help him. Perhaps he'll just blow on by and see if he can hold it. Let's see if he does make a move as they come up through this last sequence here. What are we calling this now? 12, 13, and 14?
12, 13, and 14, the final corner. There you go, coming through 13 now.
Look at the run. Look at the way that Grant swings the middle of that corner around to get a run up the last little lift before you come off of that final corner and down the straightaway. So here he is, 3/10 back. He's well within draft. The straightaway is one of the longest in motorsports, it seems. Not quite Mulsanne straight length, but it's up there. And is he going to make a move? He's sort of phantoming things, but not this time.
Not quite close enough. And yeah, Larry, watching his line there through 13 and setting up for the final corner, obviously very, very different. And it always looks as though when he takes that alternate exit out of 13, out of the very tight left-hander, that he's giving up a lot of entry speed into the final corner compared to Dibble, but he seems to get much better rotation and gets a lot more grip, gets a better dig out of there onto the front straight. Just not quite close enough the last couple laps.
I also wonder, downforce settings, obviously you took two different cars here. You got the Porsche of Dibble, the Acura of Grant, but I also wonder in their setups, is perhaps Grant running a little bit more downforce so he's quicker through this part of the track. Not going to do much good with the Rockefeller Racing garage in front of him right now.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at this. You got Ballard on the inside.
Oh my.
Now in front of them. Dorsey in there, and they're going to catch.
And Grant taking a look down to the inside out of the final corner.
It is tight through here. Dibble got a decent run though.
Yeah, somehow they both managed to get through there, but it was a regular Rockefeller brigade there and blockade there for just a moment.
That's Rocky Rocco right in front of them as they go into turn one. Rocco, I think, is down even in the GT3 field by a lap.
Yeah, he had a lot of repairs to make after that wreck a little earlier, and about 2 laps down from the GT3s.
Good little fight now with less than 10 to go. 9 minutes left on the clock. That's Bertrand. That's your AM leader. They're being nice so far. Stacy's just trying to stay out of their way. Hoping they do the same in front of her. Around that curve, Dibble looking conservative through there, and you can see Grant not as conservative, really closed hard as they exited that little kink there at 10. Now it's Jennifer McDonald in front as they go through 12 into 13.
Looks like they're going to try and split the BMW based on the line there. Nope, both around the outside.
Seen this before. It's a bit of this draft to the front straight. Grant's getting closer.
As they both try to use Robert Hartley in the number 3 Porsche as
now
a
the
pick.
defense
here we
begins. This is going to give an exit here to Grant. Can he hold it, though? Can he hold it out there? The middle of this corner, the bottom drops out. Good line for Dibble. Great line there. Just wide enough to make Grant have to use all the excess on the outside. And getting defensive here with 8 minutes to go is Tanner Dibble. Go around one of our Frito Sport entries. Maybe Brockway.
Wow, and look at the difference there, Larry, just through that corner.
Line.
How wide Dibble's car pushed out and how tight Poliquin Grant was able to keep through that corner.
Yeah.
And
Grant just calculated.
Yeah. You know, that curving at the apex of 10 doesn't look any less drastic from behind the
No,
wheel.
it doesn't.
Oh my gosh.
And I wonder at this point if the reason that Grant took such a conservative line back there at 6 is just because he knows he's not going to catch Dibble anywhere anyway. That section you may as well just take a good clean exit. Yeah. Didn't
Although
get a great exit on this lap
No.
on the final corner there at 14.
No.
A little bit further back this time as we clip into less than 7 minutes to go now. Race number 8, season number 10 of the World Challenge.
And Larry, we might want to take a look for a moment over at Leo Dragoda. Oh, that's actually Bailey Petrowski behind him. I was looking to see as Petrowski's back on track. Oh, there's a car making up a lot of ground on Leo Dragoda right now, except it wasn't a GT3 car. But Dragoda now has opened up his advantage on Ken Copeland by up to about 3.2 seconds now. So it's added on about another second since the last time we checked in.
Well, the Rockefeller Racing team decided to do a team shot here in turn 1, as there's now 4 of them scanning through the corner there.
Doing
1, 2,
rollers
3,
on
4.
the front straight while the race is still going on. Yeah.
Yeah, now, of course, we mentioned that Rocket Rocco down a lap from the others. But the others are kind of in their own fight here between Hosea, Ballard, and Dorsey.
Yeah, Dorsey just went very wide.
Now the one thing
corner
about
there.
this fight is Ballard second in the championship, or trying to get to second in the championship
Right.
in GT3 AM, comes in third, needs a lot of points. His rival, David Steiner's out of this race in his lap 1, not going to get anything in points-wise. Hosea is a pro class car, but if he were to, say, get passed by Adam Ballard would actually pick up more points because all GT3s get scored on the same scoring tree. So Ballard can be helped if his teammate Hosea lets him by. We'll see if that happens before the end of this. Now, Bertrand is also a Rockefeller Racing driver. She's got the lead now. I can't imagine she'd give that up
No,
just to
she's
get
not gonna
another
give that
point. But just if you're playing full games, but in this case, it's not for a championship, we believe, because the other Rockefeller Racing driver, Ilya Speaker, I think already has that season wrapped up.
Yeah, and so the difference, Larry, would basically be 4 points to the good for Adam Ballard if he was able to get around Charlie Hosea. 9th place picks up 46 points, 10th place picks up 44.
That could be the difference for Ballard in getting second versus third in the championship. Whether it's worth it for his teammate to help him tonight, I don't know. Maybe his teammates are saying, hey, you got to earn it.
Screw you.
Speaking of earning it, Dibble still is making Polly Grant earn it, as the two of them nose to tail now.
Coming up on
Through
Ken Copeland.
12 and 13. Copeland trying to just stay out of the way. He's second in class tonight, first in championship so far. He would like to pick up some ground here going in this last couple laps and catch up to Leo Jagoda, but Jagoda has just been quick since the pit stops. And there you can see him just in front of the GTPs. There he is. So yeah, we've got the battle in GT3 Pro right in front of us. The battle in GTPs, of course, right there. 4 minutes to go. I don't know. I'm guessing 3 laps. 3 laps to championships, 3 laps to final wins of the season.
And look at
Grant's
how
so
much
good
Grant
on
makes up just under braking going
So
into
good
one.
on the brakes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes me wonder if he's using more downforce in that car as well. At this stage of the race, it's helping. Maybe Dibble's tires are a little bit more worn. So Dibble's able to hold him on the straightaways, but Grant just able to use more for turn in there as they come around that turn 1, nearly like a hairpin. Speaking of hairpins, this is the hairpin, turn 6. No traffic in front of them for the moment. They'll come up, we believe, 2 times by the next time they see the flagger stand. Clearly the best battle on track, but we do know those GT3 AMs are having their little fun back there as well between Ballard and Dorsey. And Ballard actually just went around Dorsey out there on track, so we'll check that in a minute. I want to see how good a run probably Grant here can get, as they look like probably 2 laps to go with less than 3 minutes.
Less than 3 minutes, and lap times in the 20-minute 24s. Should be one more.
It's going to be close, honestly. We're just at 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
And a minute 24 lap. Yeah, we should be 2 laps. But yeah, so it does look like Ballard was able to get around Dorsey. We don't know if there was any sort of deals made to let that happen, but Ballard now half a second in front for the second place in GT3 AM in the race, while Stacey Bertrand continues to lead that field.
And Ballard now within within spitting distance of Hosea, teammate in the 100 BMW up ahead. just a couple of tenths back.
Grant's going to start pushing here, I got to imagine. He's got to know there's 1.5 times around to do it, to get around Jeff Jacobs. All he can do is watch.
And Larry Ballard has gotten around his teammate Hosea.
Okay.
So move Ballard up to 9th in GT3 overall. Still 2nd to Stacy Bertrand in AM.
Yeah. As Billy Petrowski will buy him, but that's not the one we're watching. These two are the ones we're watching. Is they're going to get checked the white flag this time by what does Polly Grant have? And look at this, a little bit of a blocker in front. That's the 66 of Mike Caffrey. Look at the run, though. I think there's a run happening for Grant. I suspect we'll see a defensive move for Dibble. There it goes.
There it is.
That's a lot of defense. Grant's going to hold him to it. They're going to go side by side. Grant's got a nose ahead. Look at this. Grant's going to hold him down the inside, but look at Dibble, shortest distance. Is it enough? They're going to take it to turn 2.
And as the track is going to switch back the other way, coming out of turn 2 and into 3.
They leave each other room. This is beautiful.
Oh, this
as they
is great
sweep
racing.
around the 100R. Oh, what a line there for Dibble. Pushing Grant. Grant's going to stay out there.
Grant's going to
go
go deep. We said he's great on the brakes, Larry, and he pulls right up alongside.
Yeah, but a little bit more exit speed for Dibble as he's able to pull a little bit outside. Now he's got a full car length ahead. Grant's going to have to do it again, this time either somewhere in the final section here of this turns 11, 12, or he's going to have to do it on the front straight before the stripe. Nope, he's going to try and do it here. Shove the nose in. I don't know if he can do it.
And we've seen him take that alternative line through this little section here, Larry. But he lost some ground going into that loop there, into nets here. But as they come out onto the front straight where they're going to see the white flag, it is Tanner Dibble with about 6 tenths. Oh, checkered flag. I'm sorry. You are right. We're crossed a minute, an hour 15, and taking the checkered flag here on the last lap. Tanner Dibble holds off Polloquy Grant for the win, and that is Dibble's first win of the season. Polloquy Grant finishes 2nd. Nikki Chan will come home, we think, in 3rd, as she's got just a couple more corners remaining. And
we
here he is.
About Nikki all night.
No, we haven't. Great race for him. As Leo Dragotta from Orion Racing comes out of the final corner, he is going to take the win tonight. Here in GT3 Pro, his nemesis, Larry, Ken Copeland, will finish in 2nd. They swap positions in the championship. Last round, they were separated by 4 points coming into the final race. And Larry,
I can't do math.
I can't either, because a win nets you 64 points. A 2nd place nets you 60. And
Kevin Ford has got the computer burning right now. There's smoke coming out of Kevin's computer as he's doing the math. But we're not done yet. We still got to get a winner in GT3 AM.
That's right. Let's and here as we watch, there she is. It is Stacy Bertrand from Rockefeller Racing. And she's going to come across the line for, I believe, her very first class win here this season, season number 10 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. Congratulations to Stacy. And then here comes the entire rest of the team, Larry. Finishing 2nd is going to be Adam Ballard. Finishing 3rd will be Avon Dorsey in AM. Charlie Hosea in that group as well. Hosea finishing 8th in Pro. Right in there, but great little fight there amongst all the Rockefeller racers.
There's so much math that has to get done now. The Ballard possible 2nd place jump over Steiner and GT3M has got to get done. We assume Ilya Speaker may have enough points already coming in to take that win. We'll have to see. Bertrand, great run to get her first win. That's a great job there. But the GT3 Pro is, it's going to be so close between Dragotta and Copeland. Who is it going to be?
That's right. So the question, I think, is going to come down, Larry, that there are a number of ways that you can earn bonus points over the course of the season, including leading a lap. But you are limited to 9 bonus points over the course of the entire season. And if Leo had already maxed out those points, we may have a tie for the championship.
You know what would be great is if we just left everybody on that bombshell and went to commercial.
Well, I think that's what we're going to have to do. So everybody, hold tight. We may know the answer when we come back from our final break. But you have just seen the season finale of season number 10 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge, presented by SCCA Foundation and Buttkicker here on Apex Racing TV. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name-brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Hundreds of name-brand parts. Expert support. Ricmotech has you covered. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.
And welcome back, everybody, to Fuji Speedway, where we've just seen round number 8, the season finale of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge, presented by the SCCA Foundation and Buttkicker. And Larry, if we were having trouble seeing Mount Fuji earlier with all the rubber that these racers are laying down, and they're getting admonished from race control, basically coming over the radio saying, you can do burnouts, but whatever you do, don't wreck the cars. All right, let's take a look at the final results here from our final race of season number 10. Taking the win in GTP tonight, Tanner Dibble, with Palakui Grant finishing second. Nicky Chan, great run for Nicky. He had a great run for Last 10th Racing. He finishes in third. Jordan Butler finishes just off the podium in fourth, and I think that's even after having served a drive-through penalty tonight. In GT3 AM, Stacy Bertrand takes the win, with Adam Ballard finishing in second. Avon Dorsey will come home in third. And in GT3 Pro, taking the win, it is Leo Dragotta with Ken Copeland and Travis Schwenke rounding out your podium. Jeff Brooks finishing in fourth. And so let's do this, Larry. We have the point standings. I was waiting for Jeff Jacobs from Extreme Motorsports to come in, and he was going to be giving away that Buttkicker Gamer Plus.
Why don't we do the interviews first, and we'll handle Jeff at the end, as we've got a couple of interviewees waiting in the green room.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's see. GTP? Yeah, we'll start with GTP. We don't have our winner in here tonight, but we do have, and we have to bring him in, Larry, because we
can
never
start with GT3AM.
Yeah, actually, let's do that. Let's start off with GT3 AM, as we just had our winner pop into the green room. Let's talk to Stacy Bertrand from Rockefeller Racing, your winner tonight in GT3 AM.
Stacy Bertrand jumping to the lead early in this thing in GT3 AM and walking away with the win. Stacy, how's that feel getting a win here tonight?
You know, I was thinking that there was somebody in front of me, so I was like just pushing hard. I didn't know I was in first place till the guys told me at the end.
That's awesome. To be surprised by it. I guess thinking there was somebody up there is sort of like a carrot to drive you a little bit. But so you were just running, thinking, hold this position, be conservative, and not the pressure of I have the lead, don't lose it.
Yeah, that was it. And then it was funny because there's a pro behind me, and it's like, okay, if I stay in front of the pro, this will make me feel good because I'm going to be in pro next season. And I stayed in front, and all he was doing was saving gas. And then he ended up getting past me in the pit stop, and I was like, oh, I did not play my strategy right on that one. But hey, I'm learning, so it was fun though.
Yeah, awesome job here, going to win. So what feels better, real world racing win or a sim world racing win?
Well, what's kind of funny about that is it seems harder to get sim racing wins than it is a real racing wins. Yeah. There's just so many people that can put in 200 laps on a certain track and find every teeny tiny little nuance of the fastest time that you can possibly get on something. So yeah, it and all the little variables that can happen on track while you're racing. So in the real world, it's a little safer, I think. In the sim, stuff can happen, and I'm happy about this one. Just as much as I would, or maybe more so than I'd be in real life. So yeah, excited.
awesome job tonight, getting that first win and bringing it home for the team here. I know you probably have some folks you want to thank though for helping to get the win.
Oh yeah, definitely Rockefeller Racing, guys. We did it, man. I finally got one before the season finished up. We practiced really hard the whole season long, and sharing setups and sharing tweaks and sharing techniques to go through different corners and stuff. A heck of a team, and congratulations to all you guys for wonderful broadcasts. It's been awesome. Thank you to the sponsors. Ricmotech, this World Challenge has been so exciting for us, and we're looking forward to the next one, and I hope I can step my game up just a little bit more to keep up with some of these pros. I almost beat Jennifer. Oh my gosh, she got me in the pits. I can't believe it.
Awesome stuff. I love it. I love the surprise. It's like a little bit of a birthday surprise at the end, going, oh, I won this race after all the hard work. It's got to feel rewarding. So congratulations.
I just like how she's pitting herself against the folks that she's going to be competing with next season as well. She's already
perhaps
pitting herself against the pro racers. That's very cool.
Always opportunities to go even faster, but you went real fast tonight. Got the win here tonight in GT3M. Congrats, Stacy.
Yeah, and Speaks, congratulations to him too, because I think he won the championship for AM, and he did an awesome job, and I'm so proud of him.
If you talk to him in the chat a little bit, send him into the green room. We'd like to talk to him too.
Yeah, we might.
Okay, we'll do.
Thanks, Stacey.
All right, there you go, everybody. There you go, everybody. Stacy Bertrand from Rockefeller Racing, your winner tonight in GT3 AM. All right, let's take a look now, Larry. And I think it is time to bring in our GTP winner tonight. Driver the number 963 Porsche. It's Tanner Dibble.
All right, joining us tonight, your winner in the in GTP was defending champ coming in tonight from last season in GTP. Tanner, awesome job tonight. We're just out to prove a point that, hey, you know what, Bailey can't win them all.
Not sure that was my point, but it's the last race. I had to give it my all. I wanted to try and finish on a good note, and it's been a up and down season for me, so I'm happy to finish it on a high note.
Yeah, great job today. What a fantastic race to watch, defending against Bailey for so long, and then that last lap, you and Palikui Grant, just fantastic racing side by side. It looked respectful but fast.
Yeah, it was mega racing. Big shout out to him for keeping it clean. Like I'm not sure what turn it is, 3, 4, 5. That tight left after the two sweepers. It looked like he almost went off the track to pass me. But that was probably the closest I was like, oh, he might actually make this one. But yeah, no, that was a hell of a race. Super fun.
Yeah, that was just amazing stuff, and showing why. Looking at you three guys, between Grant, yourself, and Bailey, just three of the best, the last three champs in this class. You guys showed it tonight, but you were able to come out on top and really just defend well and show you've got the speed up and down. It was really, really great stuff for you. Was this the exclamation point of the season? You're hoping to try and get out of this and show, hey, I still got the speed?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the speed was always there. Maybe on some tracks more than others, but I gotta say, Bailey is a hell of a driver. He's an amazing competitor to try and keep up with, and that same goes for Grant. Those guys are a lot of fun to race with. So, and you know, shout out to my teammates. They're also pulling their weight too. You know, they're doing their best as well.
Yeah, well, getting a win tonight, obviously the team's got to be a big part of it. The DNA teams seems to be getting bigger and faster every week.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be back next season, and hopefully, Ryan told me that Bailey might be moving to GT3, which is kind of disappointing for me because he's a great a bar to measure myself against. But you know, I think Grant will stay. The rest of us at DNA will definitely stay in GTP. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're probably going to interview Bailey in a few minutes here for other reasons, but we'll see where he ends up next season. But tonight was your night to get that win. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
My family, love you guys, and yeah, the rest of the extended DNA family. A lot of us are going through some tough times right now. Just want to say I love you guys and hang in there. And then shout out to you guys for giving us a great show to come back and watch, and for the people watching us, thanks for the support. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Well, congrats on getting that win here in the season finale. Tanner Dibble, DNA Motorsports. Congrats.
Thank you guys.
All right, Larry. So where do we go next?
Let's talk let's start with the GT3. Well, let's say our third class winner and go right in then to our champions. So let's go to GT3 Pro.
All right, let's do that, and we might even be able to knock out two birds with one stone. Let's talk to Leo Dragota, driver of the number 118 GT3 Pro Porsche with Orion Racing.
All right, Leo, you came into tonight after a round last time out where you know, maybe set things up here for us. You come in tonight knowing what you needed to do, and I think you did it. How you feeling about this, getting the win here? And from when we look at the point standings, looks like you are the Season 10 GT3 Pro champion. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, I haven't got a win since beginning of January, 2 seasons ago. So, not that getting a win again, but just winning the championship makes it all better.
Yeah, you came in tonight this whole season. You've had a bunch of seconds and thirds. That Road America race just kind of got away there a little bit, but you bounced back. You put the thing on pole tonight. You just pulled away from the moment that green flag dropped. You ran a great pace. Were you just watching that gap to Ken behind you the whole time, just managing the gap, or were you guys just running flat out quality laps for the whole hour 15?
Managing that gap. I mean, Fuji's a tire killer, so you know you got to save those tires, and we were only allowed to take left sides or one side of tires, so you had to really manage those rights so they could last the next stint. Saving fuel and all that, and then just keeping that gap, so like if you get unlucky in traffic, you still have a little bit of a buffer. So just trying to manage the race perfectly.
Yeah. So you did an awesome job tonight managing the race, but you came into this season, you're on this team. Orion's full of folks that can win championships in this class, and of course guys like Ken Copeland and a few others thrown down the list as well, with Brian Bennett, Jeff Brooks having been race winners in the past. But you're the one that comes out on top in this championship. Did you think this was possible a few months ago when the season started?
Definitely when the season started, we all thought the Porsche was one of the better cars, and Ken didn't sign up for this season, round one. First 3 rounds were pretty good, and then Ken started finding pace in that Merc, and the Porsche went on a kind of like a downhill slide, and it slowly got worse and worse. So like about maybe like 4-6 weeks ago, I didn't think this was possible because the car wasn't performing how we'd like it to. I wasn't performing how I would like myself to perform, and Ken was just killing us. But luckily we came to Fuji for the last round, and this car has notoriously been good at this track, so you know, just put the practice in. Just hope we can come out with a result.
Yeah, the practice pays off, and to be able to manage a car at a track like this, on a night like this with all the pressures, seemed to come all your way, and you got it all done, executed with perfection tonight. So congratulations. But I know you got a lot of folks that help you get here along the way here in your team and your family and all the others. I'm sure you want to mention a few.
Yeah, Ryan, thanks for them. Been a good help. Ryan's sponsor, Huffy. Family and friends. You guys for putting out some broadcast. All the sponsors of the league members, and the competition. Just awesome this season.
Yep, it's been spectacular to watch. Some of the excellence at the front of these fields and throughout the fields is really amazing to see. You are the best of the best this season. Leo Dragota getting the win tonight in the championship for Season 10 and GT3 Pro. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, there you go, Larry. Let's now move over and talk to... Well, should we talk to our GT3 AM champion? Or should we go? Let's do that. Let's bring in Ilya Speaker from Rockefeller Racing, your Season 10 GT3 AM champion.
All right, Ilya Speaker. Let's we can talk for a second about tonight's race. Just to say, when you came into tonight, did you know that your lead was probably safe in the championship, so that early incident maybe wasn't gonna be the worst?
Yeah, I knew even with my drop round I was pretty much clear, unless I think Steiner would have to have a perfect race and win the overall, I think, and that would have even been tight. So yeah, I knew pretty much going into it. Yeah, that first whatever lap that was early on, and then I tried to do an undercut because I was catching a few and sped in the pits, and that just ruined the race. But it was fun. Still Fuji's always a challenge, right?
Yeah, this is a tough track for sure. But really, let's talk about the whole season. 8 different rounds. You really, I must say, dominated, but you certainly had a couple of wins in there. You had a really great season against some tough competition, and showed you've got the pace here in the Rockefeller Racing Porsche. How does this feel? You're going to be the Season 10 GT3 AM champion. How's that settle in for you?
Well, it feels great. I mean, it was something I was definitely shooting for going into this season, and thanks to the team, thanks to just everybody. I mean, the entire league itself, the practice sessions, and there's been some good back and forth with a lot of people, so it's been great. It was about consistency, race after race. Yeah, this one didn't look too good, but even my other drop round, or the one that was a drop round, was still a pretty good finish, and that was a race that I got I think tagged early and had to come from behind. So it's all about consistency in these leagues. I think that's one reason Dragato, look at his pro championship, right? Was this his first win or second win of the season?
First win of the season.
First win of the season, and it's just finishing towards the top all the time and being consistent. And that's why I like these type of leagues. It's just great. Yeah,
excellence top to bottom. And so are we gonna see you back in action next season in the Porsche or something else?
I'm probably switching. One is I've wanted to challenge myself to a different one. I used to go in the BMW a lot. That may be one, but we'll see. I did sign up with the BMW, and I am moving up to the pro group, even though the top few guys will still eat my lunch in that aspect. But I'll try to keep up with them best I can. So it'll be fun.
Well, it'll be good. I think you're up to the challenge. You weren't far behind them on overall points this season.
No,
so
I think
it'll be
third or fourth or fifth. What was it? Somewhere in there.
Looks like you would have been fourth in the GT3 Pro. So you got the pace. You're there.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great job this whole season.
Yep.
Taking lots of wins and bringing this car and this team a championship. I'm sure you got some folks you want to mention.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank the sponsors. I think it's been a great series. I want to thank the team itself, my wife and my daughter in particular, for putting up with me, for dedicating some time on a Sunday usually, and then also on Mondays to do this. So it's been fun, and I do appreciate it. And thank you guys for everything. Broadcasts are great, and can't wait for next season.
All right, we can't wait to see you out there next season as well.
Yeah.
So winning the GT3 AM Championship here in Season 10. Awesome job, Ilya Speaker.
Thank you.
All right, Larry, let's move over now to GTP. We're going to talk to our Season 10 champion, I guess, taking his second championship. And we heard some very interesting comments from Mr. Dibble about this. So maybe you have a line of questions for him. Let's bring in Bailey Petrowski from D2D Sim Racing, your Season 10 GTP champion.
All right, Bailey Petrowski. Bailey, I feel like I talk to you more than I do my own wife on a weekly basis here. This is getting to be a regular thing. Tonight, though, it's not for the race win, but it's for the championship. Bailey, a great race until the moment it wasn't. I don't know if you want to mention or talk a little bit about that moment and how it just all slipped away.
Yeah, I was talking with Paul Cooey and some of the others while we were waiting for this interview, and we were looking back at it a bit, and it kind of looks like I just got really unlucky and just either it was a sim glitch, or because I feel like, and for everything I saw, I did everything that I was supposed to do, but just got unlucky, got a wheel caught in the wrong spot, and then instantly turned me. But in the end, I was pushing very hard. I was trying to catch up. I was trying to make up for letting Tanner get past, and was definitely pushing a lot of that. A lot of the race wasn't going my way, so there's definitely some frustration trying to get the race to come back to me. So in the end, I'll just chalk it up to being too aggressive. So, but it happens. It's frustrating on the final race of the season to end it on a big mistake like that, but it does happen.
Well, and that's it. You had to push. You've got tough competitors out there. Obviously, your teammate Grant was very fast tonight. Nearly came away with the win. Tanner Dibble got the win. He was super fast tonight. But for the season, bookend to end, you come away with a whole bunch of wins coming in tonight. Tonight was kind of just the formality of get through it anyway. But you're going to walk away as the Season 10 champ here in GTP. I know this was your goal. Is this what you felt it was gonna be all about?
Yeah, and I think I did get pushed really hard. I think Tanner put up a great fight, and throughout all the season, I've even though it may not show as from the numbers, I feel like I have, at least in the last few seasons, developed a lot as a driver, both in just like racecraft and pace, just pretty much everything about what I'm doing right now. Like, I've developed so much more confidence in the car as these seasons have gone on, and I feel like I've been accomplishing everything I've been wanting to. There's still definitely areas that I can improve, as we definitely saw tonight. There's always going to be areas to improve in, but overall, I'm happy with the amount of progress I'm making. So, yeah.
So that's good to hear. So a little birdie may have mentioned that your progress maybe is leading you to another challenge. Are you going to be joining us in the next World Challenge season?
Yes, I will
What
be in the
car?
World Challenge. Yeah, that's the interesting part. At least so far, I'm registered in the new McLaren that will be coming out for GT3
my.
Pro. So trying completely different class, very different, well, mostly different discipline. Just want to try something different, learn some different disciplines of driving. I've never quite figured out cars with ABS in them or gotten quick in cars with ABS, so hope to figure that out and kind of treat it as a new challenge and kind of a new approach. I want to be quick in many cars rather than just a single car, so I want to be able to adapt to these different scenarios. So that's going to be my main goal in this next coming season.
Well, the best drivers always challenge themselves to find new ways to challenge themselves to get better at this every single week. And now with a couple of championships at GTP, I think we're all looking forward to seeing you in GT3 Pro next season. So, but for tonight, you can savor this a little bit. You've got the championship locked up. It is all yours here in Season 10 in GTP. Anybody you want to mention or give thanks for helping you along the way to get this championship?
Yeah, definitely want to thank the team as always. Paul Cooey's been doing a great job pushing me, and I've spent a lot of time with him in our practice sessions, trying to get more comfortable battling side by side with other cars, and we both, I think, have become much more confident in our racecraft abilities since driving with each other, as well as Eric. I've spent a lot of time with him on setups and also working on racecraft with him, and I think all of that time we spent together has really helped my driving around other vehicles. I want to thank Bobby for all the paints he does and all the work he does for the league. I want to thank my dad for always supporting me in these races and all my family and friends. I want to thank you guys for commentating on these races. Thank all the sponsors for the series, for my team. And I want to thank all the other drivers in the series for putting great show, showing up and just having a good time.
Well, we all got to watch a lot of excellence this season, and for you getting a lot of wins means a championship is yours. Congrats, Bailey Petrowski, getting the championship here in GTP.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. You have a good one.
All right, now that, Larry, is some interesting news.
Yeah,
to hear that he's going to go GT3 racing next season,
and gets deeper.
Yeah, it definitely does. Oh my gosh! And I think one of the reasons why when we listened to Tanner and his thinking on this is that I think next season in the World Challenge we are likely going to have 2 different prototype classes. I think we're going to have the return of LMP2 along with the GTP cars. So should make for some interest. And I think we all thought that maybe Bailey would be getting behind the wheel of one of the LMP2 machines, but no, that's neat to hear. All right, Larry, we've got one more guest to bring in, and a very important one at that. It is Jeff Jacobs. Not only does he drive in the series and have the widest BMW in the series, he is also vice president of Extreme Motorsports as well as the chairman of the SCCA Foundation. And I think he's got some information on a couple of the giveaways that we have for our racers, as well as what's coming up in the world of Extreme Motorsports.
All right, Jeff Jacobs joining us here. And Jeff, hopefully you had a good time tonight. I don't want to focus too much on that, but I know you are here on business. We've got some prizes to give away.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was a fun race out there tonight, and hopefully the broadcast showed what a great job the drivers were doing out there. But yeah, we got a couple big prizes to give away here at the end of the season. Now, both of these prizes are based on the number of points that drivers earned throughout the season. For every point that they earned, it goes into a drawing, and so if they got 390 points, they got 390 entries into the drawing. But first, we're really glad to have Buttkicker back with us again this season. That Buttkicker Gamer Plus system is awesome, and you know, I think our drivers especially appreciate any little edge that they can get. As you saw how close the racing was out there tonight between a bunch of these drivers, and if you can add to the realism and to the feedback that you get as a driver, you know, that may help in any given race and on any given track. So tonight, we're giving away one of those Buttkicker gamer systems, and our winner is Jeff Brooks from GT3. The Wisconsin driver from the Wrong Stuff team is going to have the right stuff delivered there when he adds that Buttkicker system to his rig.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go a long way. He's going to be even quicker next season if he wasn't already quick enough.
I'll tell you what, that's right. And then our other prize this evening, Ricmotech, not only being our title sponsor, but stepped up to add a $100 Ricmobuck award. So these drivers will have $100 to spend there at the Ricmotech shop. And our winner for that is Rockefeller Racing's Milan Harris from GTP. He ran the Cadillac this season and did a great job. I think maybe he finished, he may have been 4th, I think, or so in the... well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the standings. So, but he's going to have $100, and whether he spends it on a button box or one of the mini mites or that sort of thing, we'll see how Milan uses that and if it improves his finishing position next season.
It just might. We'll have to see. So that's a couple of great prizes, and we really do appreciate both Ricmotech, of course, and Buttkicker for continuing to support this series.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, as you guys have probably mentioned to the folks, we're really excited about to kick off the next season. There's not going to be any break. You know, we kick off next week with that mini mite series with the sports cars, and then come right back with the World Challenge, a sold-out field. We've got like 63 drivers pre-registered in that. It's going to be incredible.
Yep. So we have the sold-out field for that in 3 weeks, but we're going to take a week off, of course, Labor Day holiday. But next week we've got the opening of our new series. Are there any spots open for that if folks want to sign up?
Yeah, we still got about 10 spots open for that new Mini Mite sports car series. Dual 30-minute sprints every week, and that's a fun format, as well. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jeff, really appreciate it. Any other announcements or things we want to mention here before we close the show?
No, just hey, thanks so much to you guys as well. Appreciate the time that you put in prepping for the broadcasts, and the whole Apex team there does an awesome job with the broadcast and everything else.
Well, appreciate that. We love doing it, and we'll be back next week for the start of that new series. Greg, do we want to talk about where that is?
Absolutely. Let's take a look. And Jeff, you want to hang in with us? Next week, Monday night, August 26th, is the premiere of the Ricmotech Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge. Round 1 is going to be at Virginia International Raceway, and as Jeff mentioned, dual 30-minute or possibly 35-minute races. We'll get that figured out by next week. But great to have that continuing. Again, those are for LMP3 and for GT4 racers. And then in 3 weeks, it is the season opener of season number 11 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. We're going to be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course for round number 1. And then, of course, the Touring Car Cup returns in January for our MX-5 Cup and GR86 Cup cars, so you don't want to miss that. Now, Jeff, my understanding was there are going to be some changes to the makeup of the World Challenge in Season 11, that we might be coming in with another prototype class. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly right. So in addition to those, the GTP cars, we're bringing in the, what would it be, the LMP2 cars. So yeah, we've got, I think we have 10 drivers registered in GTP. We have 8 registered already in the LMP2 cars, so we're gonna have 2 of the prototypes out there. And then we got just a crazy number of GT3 drivers out there, and folks are excited about some of the new cars as well. We'll see the Corvette and the Mustang out there, in addition to the current cars.
Yeah, and we know we were talking to Bailey Petrowski. He's looking forward to that brand new McLaren that's coming online, the replacement for the McLaren GT3 car. Are we going to see weather in either the World Challenge or in the Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge coming up this season?
Probably not in Mini Mite, but I think in World Challenge we may do a little sprinkling of weather here or there. I don't think you. Fun. Yeah, I don't think you can count on a full downpour type of thing, but I think we may introduce some changing conditions. Maybe we'll go from wet qualifying to then drying conditions throughout the race type of thing, and let drivers bring a little tire strategy into the mix.
Yeah, that will definitely change the game, literally, for our World Challenge racers. That is great to hear. All right, so Jeff, want to thank you as always for supporting us and supporting everybody here at Apex Racing TV, making our job easier. And not only you, of course, Kevin Ford there as well, each and every week, providing all the support that we need in order to make these broadcasts successful.
Well, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good evening.
All right, everybody, there you go. Jeff Jacobs from Extreme Motorsports, as well as the SCCA Foundation. And, of course, want to thank our great sponsors with those giveaways. Of course, Ricmotech, our title sponsor, as well as Buttkicker. All right, so Larry, I think we've already run down what we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. Why don't we wrap things up?
Yeah, great season. That was spectacular. And I'm excited. We got 2 new seasons starting, one of them next week. We'll take a week off after that for the holiday, and then we'll kick in with our World Challenge Season 11, Round 1, 3 weeks from now. This is an exciting time.
There you go. All right, so for Larry Lefty McLeod, for, of course, Jonathan Grabowski, I'm Greg Ginsburg, and we'll see you next Monday night with the premiere of the Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge. Have a great week, everybody.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.